This podcast is a Radio Mike original production. Head to radiomike.com.au to find out more. Hello, Norwegian Ridgebacks. Welcome
That is
to
a type of dragon.
Welcome to Harry Potter and the Boys, Australia's only Harry Potter fan fiction podcast by me, Radio Mike, where I read Harry Potter fan fiction that I wrote when I was in Year 7. First returning guest, Jack Post. Welcome back.
Thanks for having me, Mike. What is your favourite dragon in the Harry Potter world?
I don't even remember many of them.
No.
Do you remember many?
Unless you said Norwegian Ridgeback, I wouldn't have remembered
The
any.
Chinese Fireball, I think, is one or something like that. And I remember in the movie Goblet of Fire, the guy's like reading out all the dragons. He's like, the Chinese Fireball. Ooh. He actually does that. Go watch it. It's very funny.
The Chinese Fireball.
Welcome back. People loved both your original ep and the Q&A we did. People really liked that, man, which is such a surprise.
Well, if I watch any more movies that I have questions for, I'll come back and do another episode.
Is there anything that just springs to your mind so far?
Harry Potter or any movie?
Harry Potter, specifically Harry Potter.
Snape.
Yeah.
What's with that haircut? I couldn't think of anything.
I thought of one thing we didn't bring up. Did you understand in The Half-Blood Prince why Professor Snape was the Half-Blood Prince? Because in the movie, in the movie he just says at the end, I'm the Half-Blood Prince. In the book, that's like the main plot line of the book, finding out why he is the Half-Blood Prince.
So does that mean he's got one wizard parent, one non-wizard?
Yeah, and his mother's maiden name is Prince. That's why he called himself the Half-Blood Prince. So and you learn a lot about Snape's childhood in that book, where it turns out like his dad was a little bit abusive and like he came from a really rocky family and stuff like that. And then you slowly learn that he's the Half-Blood Prince and he finally reveals it at the end. But in the book, none of that happens, and he just says it at the end, and you're like, oh, but it's like it means nothing, right? Because there's no context. How have you been following along with Harry Potter and the Boys?
The last chapter I read, was the one I read on the train.
Do you remember what happened in that?
Yeah, they were at the Great Hall. Is that what it's called? The dining hall, and Harry Potter, who's now the headmaster. He was a dick. I remember. Yeah, that.
So all the students were dying and being crushed by Hagrid. I think that was it was after that.
A student did die. I don't think Hagrid crushed them. A student did die, and they just played on without really acknowledging it.
Yeah,
and then he sent them back to their dorms.
And they kill the fat lady as well?
Possibly.
Okay. So a few crazy things have happened. I'll kind of put you up to speed. Last week, we met Ron Weasley, who is now the professor of Defense Against the Dark Arts.
That's funny.
And he teaches them a spell that he refers to as just a cheeky little fun spell to have a good time with your mates and have a bit of a laugh, right? It's called Ronaldus McDonaldus, and it decapitates someone and makes them bleed severely from their neck. So Ron uses
good fun
that
with your friends.
Yeah. Yep. There is also a moment in that chapter that I wanted to bring up a little bit quickly here, which is Ron in the class. Ron does this thing where I'll cut the audio from last week's episode here, and then I'll just explain it to you.
Yep.
Because we're alive. We are definitely alive. Definitely alive is in bold, and alive is also underlined.
And they're in italicized.
So really as much emphasis as you could possibly give that line.
Which is now making me think that
they're dead. Are they all dead?
I don't know. But like, why am I stressing the fact that Ron is saying that we are definitely alive? It's like the Matrix. It sounds like he's trying to convince them, this is real. Yeah. This isn't a simulation. Like, everything's okay.
I mean, it's a great red herring. If this never gets brought up again, pretty funny red herring to just put that in with no context. Never brought up again. Okay. See, again, we're pausing so much, we miss crucial information that's happening the next sentence.
That's what this podcast is all about. Like, I bet there is no other podcast that examines any book in sentence by sentence detail.
Because we're alive. We are definitely alive. His nose began turning purple and his hair turned green.
That's very weird.
Now, who is scared of me right now? Is anyone in here scared of me? 3 or 4 students raised their hands. Oh, that's good, Weasley said. You should be scared. Enhance the fear. Enhance the fear. Come on, ... Dance with me, boys. Dance with me. He started dancing up and down and fell over and landed straight into a pot.
That scene, that audio you've just heard or seen if you're watching the video version, I realized, and I think I realized this on my original pod as well, 20th Century Boy, is like a shot-for-shot take of a scene from Family Guy where Peter Griffin does the exact same thing. And when I was writing this book, Can
we cut that in here?
Yeah, do you want to watch it now? Yeah. All right, cool. Okay, so we're going to watch it and we're going to put the video over this.
Oh, that's it. Peter, you're suffocating me with your jealousy. I can't take it anymore. I'm calling a marriage counselor. I mean, I can't even have coffee with a friend without you freaking out. What is your problem?
You want to know what my problem is? You want to know what my problem is? I love too much.
Peter, what are you talking about?
Don't you see, Lois? We're alive.
Peter, you're scaring me.
Good. Embrace the fear. Dance with me, Lois. Dance the dance of life. Yeah, maybe you should call that marriage counselor.
So essentially, like, I've seen that scene and thought it was so funny. I'm just going to copy it completely and put it in the book. I believe in Ron Weasley. So that's sort of what you should picture as Ron Weasley. He's now a Peter Griffin-esque
Nothing like the character that was in the book.
Not really. He's quite different. And in the Harry Potter and the Boys, he falls into a pot.
Ron Weasley is Peter Griffin-esque is such a far removal from the character he was in the book.
Yeah, and I feel like Harry Potter is almost like Rick from Rick and Morty-esque in that he's just really like shit's happening around him and he just doesn't understand what's going on and just like ignores it basically. One more thing, because we've talked about your history with Harry Potter.
Yep.
I wanted to launch a new segment on the show this week. And I notice you've brought a guitar. Do you have a song to play?
If there's time permitting at the end, I have a Harry Potter themed song.
Okay.
That I wrote when I was on community radio.
Oh, cool.
So some 12 years ago now.
Wow. That's sort of like how I wrote this. Like,
when was this written, Harry Potter and the Boys?
2007, this edition.
This was probably written in 2007.
And that's amazing. So we will hear that at the end. But this is a new segment. I'll make a little sting and opener, but it's called Potter or Notter.
Okay.
Insert sting.
Potter or Notter.
So the way this game works is I'm going to read a sentence from a book, could be Potter, could be Notter.
The real Harry Potter books, not
the real Harry Potter books. Yeah. And I'm going to sub out any character names for characters from Harry Potter. And you have to decide whether this excerpt is from Potter or Notter, right? And so this is the excerpt. And again, all names are changed if it is not a Harry Potter book. All right. Harry had escaped the goblins, but he did not know where he was. He wandered on till the sun began to sink westwards behind the mountains. Is that Potter or is it Notter?
That's Notter.
What makes you say it's Notter?
The sun setting behind the mountains. Hogwarts isn't even very mountainous. It sounded more Lord of the Rings-y.
Hogwarts is a castle, so of course it's not mountainous.
Yeah, but even the terrain around it, I don't picture mountains. It just doesn't feel like it's in the book.
Okay, well, when you walked in, you may have noticed, and I quickly tried to hide it, the Hobbit was sitting on my bed. We record this in my bedroom.
I would never pick that up. You walk into Mike's room, the Hobbit. That must be something in a game that he's going to do in his podcast.
Well, that is the first line from chapter 6 of The Hobbit, which is out of the frying pan into the fire.
You just watched a Family Guy clip, and there's Family Guy in your bed as well.
So, yeah, I got that at a hard rubbish. Like, someone had just had seasons 1 to 8 of Family Guy outside the front. Maybe I'll give it away as a prize on the show.
A 31 DVD set.
If you want to win a 31 DVD set of the first 8 seasons of Family Guy, which I just picked up off the side of the road, do something amazing for the podcast. That's all I'll say. Do something amazing. I will send that out to you as a prize. Shall we get into the fanfic?
Oh, there's only one question in the game?
Oh, yeah. It's just every week we do a Potter or Notter.
Okay, sure. I thought it'd be at least 3 rounds.
No. There's just one round.
Let's get into the book.
All right, let's do it. All right. So last week we had Ruben solo, and I kind of filled you in on what essentially happened in that chappy chap.
How was Ruben?
Ruben was great. He's very intelligent, so he was able to unpack it really well. Chapter 11 this week.
How would you describe me when I came on?
You were great as well. Everyone's been great. There have been no bad guests. So we always start with the chapter title being read, and just so we can pick up where we left off. Oh yeah, there is a Quidditch competition coming up, and the captain of Quidditch, Timothy Mirth, said, "Hey guys, enroll for the Quidditch competition. Be there or be square." And then he goes, "And if you don't, I'll just kill myself," which is a really awful thing to say, and a really like manipulative technique to get what you want. So never do that. And we do not. As I said in one episode, some stuff in this book probably doesn't age well. So I would never write that now. But please enlighten us with chapter 11.
And is Timothy Mirth somebody who went to your school? Is he named?
No,
after
I think he's just a random name. All right, take it away, Jack.
Chapter 11 of Harry Potter and the Boys. It's called The Very Strange Dreams.
Which is like, that's, pretty normal title. Nothing huge to unpack there.
The boys looked at their timetable. They had Transfiguration, and then they had the weekend.
On the timetable, it's like Transfiguration, and then period 8, weekend. So I assume what I'm trying to say is it's a Friday.
Yeah, Friday afternoon. Last 2 periods of the week. Let's just get Transfiguration out of the way.
Yeah.
They walked to the Transfiguration room. The door was half open. The boys suddenly heard a voice. Again, it was Mr. Charger.
Lots of mysterious stuff happening with Mr. Charger in this book.
Now, I think Charger was not introduced yet, or just about to be introduced last time I was here. He is an original character that you made. He's bad.
He seems to be a bad guy.
He
seems to be up to no good. And in previous chapters, and this might come in, you should know this, we have been introduced to the dark farts, which seems to be a new branch of the dark arts. Mm-hmm. In a previous chapter, the boys encounter Mr. Charger in a classroom, and when he realizes they're there, and his pants are down, when he realizes they're there, a green spell shoots out of his asshole. So we think, me and Ruben talked about it, we think that's the dark fart. So Mr. Charger seems to have something to do with the dark farts.
Right. Were his pants down because someone was doing the spell on him, or...
No, his pants down because the spell came out of his ass. So he needed to have I guess he needed his...
Oh, he was teaching the spell.
No. So they encountered him like talking to a snake-like voice. Right. Ruben and I believe that was Voldemort, but we're not sure. So again, lots of mystery around Mr. Charger's actions.
The door was half opened and they heard a voice. Again, it was Mr. Charger and the snake-like voice.
That's it.
There was also the voice of Professor Granger and someone that they didn't know.
Mm-hmm.
"I will sue you, the unknown voice said. Mm-hmm. "Please, don't resort to this. It is not our fault," Professor Granger said.
So a lot of this book just seems to be like little breadcrumbs of like, oh, something's going on. We don't know what it is.
But that's a good way to write a mystery. So far we are intrigued.
Yeah, cool.
"Oh, is it not? This is the snake voice.
Yeah.
"Oh, is it not?"
Good snake voice.
The snake voice asked. "Stop!" Mr. Charger cried. "Intruders!" The door flew open. "Oh, you must be here for the lesson," Hermione said. "Well, come in."
Okay, so there's so much to unpack. Like, there's something's going on in this classroom. Someone is threatening to sue Hogwarts or Professor Granger, and then the kids walk in and she's like, "Oh, you must be here for the lesson. Come on in there."
Why have the secret conversation in the room
where students...
it's on the timetable?
Have it on the weekend.
The boys walked in with about 12 Hufflepuffs. Mr. Charger and a tall man with long grey hair was standing next to him. They exited.
Okay, so that seems to be a new mystery character, this long man with grey hair who is planning on suing Hogwarts for something.
Okay, and
that's
this is the first introduction of the grey-haired man.
Seems like that's our first introduction to him, yeah.
Now, students, today we will be learning how to change a person into a shovel.
So, to me, this feels like... I think I spoke about it in the past where there's a spell they learn in Chamber of Secrets which turns your animal into a teacup or something, or a goblet. And it's like, when are you doing that? Like, why? Like, and then, so I think this is like, hey, let's turn a person into a shovel. Like, if you're ever at the beach, great one for just digging a hole.
Let's turn a person into a shovel. Now, you need all you need. Just think of
So it says
little
now.
bubble.
Now you need all you need. So that seems like a typo, but yeah.
Now, all you need is a simple spell. This spell is called Secta Sempra, she said. Well, try it out, she said. No.
Number one, Secta Sempra seems very peculiarly close to another spell, Sectum Sempra, which
Right.
Harry uses against Malfoy, which slices him up. And then also, I don't think magic lessons are supposed to be, all right, so the spell's Wingardium Leviosa, try it out. Let's try it.
It is, and it would be dangerous to have spell names that are close to another name. You know,
Yeah.
when Siri accidentally mishears you
And calls-
you're like, I was trying to turn you into the shovel. We're at the beach. I cut you in half. Oh, gee, Siri. Michael tried the spell out first. He pointed his wand at Rob and said, Sectum Sempra.
Okay, so he's inadvertently used Sectum Sempra.
It's actually
So
happened.
That's exactly what we've... So Michael's probably knows of Sectum Sempra because he's read the Harry Potter books, which do exist in this universe.
Okay. So sorry to preempt the comedy that was coming, but Michael has used the Sectum Sempra spell, which suddenly Rob started bleeding badly.
And it's that classic dilemma where, you just want to turn your mate into a shovel, but you accidentally kill him. It's a classic wizarding dilemma.
Hermione,
But then it goes both ways, because sometimes you want to kill someone, you end up with a shovel. Oh, what am I going to do with this?
there should be more of that actually in it. Like when they're doing the major battles,
Yeah.
it's turning someone into a shovel still disarms them and stops the whole battle, and you can go like, all right,
Yeah,
phew.
yeah, and then you can
Voldemort's
just
a shovel.
you can pick it up and just throw it into the ocean. Right, hey guys, I don't think Voldemort is going to be much of an issue.
Last time I saw him, he was a shovel. I chopped him up into little tiny pieces. He's in the bottom of the ocean.
This shovel just emerges from the beach. Like if you get turned into an inanimate object, are you now inanimate? Like,
Yeah,
can you think?
It's not like he can use like one hand out the shovel to turn himself back.
Yeah.
Hermione kept on yelling about how
Harry Potter and the magic shovel. Sorry, we will continue.
Hermione kept on yelling about how different Sector Sempra was different to Sectum Sempra.
So I think this is referencing, it's Leviosa, not Leviosa. Like, it's Sector Sempra, not Sectum Sempra, you idiot.
Now you've killed your best friend. Michael, take Rob to the hospital wing now.
Oh, I think you skipped a bit. I think we... Oh, no, sorry, we're not. You didn't.
That's all right.
Yeah. Michael, take Rob, yeah.
Michael picked Rob up and took him down to the hospital wing. He waited there with him and apologized.
And like
Sorry,
a
mate,
lot
about
of the time in this book, it's like, oh, like even last chapter when someone was decapitated, it was like, oh, just take him up to the hospital wing. Like it seems like now major injuries can just I guess they can be just very quickly healed with magic.
Well, I mean, we talked about it last time, but Hogwarts was always so dangerous at every step of the way. That hospital wing should have been full all the time. Anytime you saw a character in there, there were only one in one of the hospital beds, but it should have been full all the time.
Yeah, and they only had one nurse, Madame Pomfrey. She was probably working overtime. She should ask Dumbledore for a raise.
The thing you pointed out last time, which was, isn't there a line from Hagrid or Dumbledore? It's like, Hogwarts is the safest
Ain't no
place.
safer place than Hogwarts.
I told Bianca about that.
Which really puts into question the rest of the wizarding world. Like, you go to the Ministry of Magic and there's just like swords spinning from the sky. And it's like, oh, just have to get into the ministry, start work for the day.
The boys stayed up for hours talking.
Oh, hang on.
I beg your
Yeah,
pardon. I
yeah.
did miss a bit this time.
Just got to.
Michael apologised to Rob for
Hey,
making
man,
him
sorry
wait.
I cut you up.
Sorry, man. I was meant to be a shovel.
Yeah, I mean, I would have loved to be a shovel.
In about 10 minutes, Rob was healed. Transfiguration was over and the boys were ready for the first Quidditch match, which was tomorrow.
Nice.
The boys stayed up for hours talking. They knew that the game wouldn't be too easy. They were versing Slytherin. They all fell asleep at about 3 a.m. and they all had strange dreams.
And I guess this is where the
we
title
go.
of the chapter, The Very Strange Dreams, comes into it.
Luke dreamed... Are they all on the Quidditch team?
Yeah, they all 6 of them. So it's sort of like the reverse Harry Potter, where like Harry makes the team. All 6 of them made the team.
Right. Luke dreamed that he was being tortured by Lord Voldemort. Don't say his name.
That is quite a strange dream.
Lockie dreamed he was an idiot.
So the word idiot is used a lot.
Oh,
in
yeah,
this
I
book.
remember
It's
that.
Like, yeah.
Sam and Tom.
And imagine that, like you wake up from a dream, it's like, oh, that was so scary. What happened? Oh, I dreamed I was an idiot. Oh my God. Don't worry, you are not an idiot. It was just a dream.
I dreamed that I was getting tortured by Voldemort. Ah, shit.
Lockie's dreamed he was an idiot, and you're mocking that by saying you were tortured. Jesus Christ. At least one has a chance of being true.
Sam and Tom, who somehow had the same dream all the time.
So Sam and Tom are twins who just seem like one person.
Yeah. Okay. Dreamed they were in Teletubby Land, which was frightening. But the dream that was most scary was Michael and Rob's dream. They were both having the same one. Ooh, Sam and Tom just had the same dream.
It's magic.
They were both having the same one. They saw themselves in a dark room that was dimly lit by a green light. It was just them and Lockie on their own.
Okay.
Mr. Charger entered this room. He had no pants on.
Which now, so I honestly don't think that there were any undertones of like Mr. Charger. I think it's just
you went to a
I know. I think it's
that was like semi-dodgy with that kind of stuff.
I think
it?
it's just the dark farts. You need to unfortunately have at least your bum hole free to do the dark farts. So a lot of wizards just take their pants off. So yeah, it's a new branch of magic anyway.
Okay, but there's nothing untoward going on between Mr. Charger and
I
the
don't
students
believe.
that we know.
Well, he might want to murder them, but I don't think he wants to do anything else.
Mr. Charger entered this room. He had no pants on. Actually, it was kind of disgusting and wrong.
Well,
Well pointed out
Good
by
disclaimer.
the writer. Behind him, a tribe of men stood clearly. One was big and hairy, as in the whole body was full of hair. Actually, it was quite hard to tell if he was human or some kind of Bigfoot, but he was very thin.
Okay.
One was not even a man, but a gigantic snake, a basilisk. It had a star shining on its head.
So this is another interesting tidbit that I think we've picked up in the past, which is there was a character called Harold who is a loner who they met on the train, and
In this book?
Yeah. And the distinctive feature they remember about him was that he had a star-shaped birthmark on his head. So I think this might come into play. Also, on the podcast artwork for this, I believe this basilisk with the star on its head is on the front cover.
And it's very good by the writer to put some foreshadowing in earlier in the book.
Well, we don't know for sure. Also, credit to Dave Ferrier, who did a great job with the artwork of this pod.
There was the Bigfoot man, the gigantic snake with the star on his head. They both knew they had seen this star before.
Okay, so well, there you go.
There were still a lot more men, but they couldn't make out any of them except that they were wearing black top hats with white suits.
Interesting.
On their suits were the letters JWC.
Okay, so I'm gonna say I do remember what this is about. So like this does come.
Do you want to give it away or
no? But this JWC, the white suits with black top hats, does come into play in later books of this franchise.
God. Mr. Charger whispered something to the hairy man and pointed at Lockie. The hairy man nodded and disappeared. Mr. Charger smiled an evil smile. He took out a wand.
Wait, do your best evil smile to the camera. I mean, that's a creepy evil smile.
And remember, I've got no pants on when I'm doing this.
Yeah.
Mr. Charger smiled an evil smile. He took a wand out, but put it away.
So in this dream, your teacher has no pants on. He's looking at you like this, and then he goes, he puts it back. He's like, what is going on? This is worse than Lockie's dream about being an idiot.
He raised his hand and a body appeared. Someone that was supposed to be dead. It was Dragon Mailboy.
Wow.
Now, he died earlier in the book.
So Dragon Mailboy, who originally seemed to just be a parody of Draco Malfoy, who appeared in a chapter earlier on and just abused the boys in Diagon Alley. Then the book said Dragon Mailboy will die in a future in like page 14. Then he did die on that page. And then he was dead. But now it seems like Dragon Mailboy was more than just a throwaway device.
Wow. I mean, it's a dream, so it doesn't mean he's risen from the dead.
Yeah.
He was Dragon Mailboy, but he was alive and well. I know. What the fuck? Oh, is that the writer's head voice?
I guess that's the narrator saying, I know. What the fuck?
Right? He died.
He was dead. How's he here? It is a dream, I guess.
Another man came out of the tribe. It was the man they had seen exiting the transfiguration room with Mr. Charger.
So that's the long-haired man with grey
hair.
hair, I guess. Wow. Okay, things are coming together. So there's a pointing to the Bigfoot.
Yeah.
Then to Lockie. Then the wand comes out. He puts it back. Does an evil smile. Dragon Mailboy appears. Like something is happening.
He pointed at Mailboy and then at the boys. He continued this for about 15 seconds.
Yeah. Yeah. Mailboy from before. Yeah.
Hagrid then appeared. He was wearing a ballet dress and began to dance.
Okay, so that's the unraveling of the dream, I guess. So this is it seems like there's like dreams in books often are like, because I remember in Philosopher's Stone, the book, Harry actually has a dream where Professor Quirrell is unwrapping his turban, right? Harry has a dream about that. So I think in fantasy books, dreams tend to like reflect reality somehow.
Okay, so Hagrid wearing a ballet dress is reflecting reality at the school?
I don't know.
So Hagrid is wearing a ballet dress and begins to dance. New paragraph. Ah! A large shout was heard and suddenly Luke appeared lying on the ground.
Oh.
Suddenly, Michael and Rob awoke from this strange dream. Luke, that was the strangest dream ever, said Michael.
But Luke wasn't in the dream, was he? It was Rob that was in the dream.
I think.
And also, do they know they were having the same dream?
I think Lockie was in the dream.
Oh, okay. This is. I can't even remember who Luke is.
Hagrid's in the ballet dress. I can't even remember who Luke is. It's your book.
I get Luke and Lockie merged as one person, Sam and Tom as one person, and then Michael and Rob as one person. But yeah.
That was the strangest dream ever, said Michael. Once he had explained his dream to everyone, he found out that Rob had had the exact same dream as him.
Okay.
It couldn't have meant anything, though, said Sam. Your brother Jeremy told us on the first day that Mr. Charger was a squib. He wouldn't have a wand.
Yes.
A squib is born into a magical family, doesn't have powers.
Opposite of a mudblood, essentially. So
they don't even get a wand. Maybe that's why they don't have the powers.
Well, there's a thing. Hey, maybe have we tried giving him a wand? No. So I think it's like in Chamber of Secrets, I think Mr. Filch is using this thing called a quick spell. And I think that's a way squibs are able to like learn a bit of magic. But I don't know if, like, I think they can kind of do magic. They just don't have an inherent, they can't just inherently do it. They have to actually.
Same magic like a card trick that they would do like, pick a card.
Yeah, pick a card. Diamonds. All right, Harry, pick a card, any card. So, yeah, it seems strange that he had a wand because he's supposed to be a squib, which doesn't really make sense that he's teaching at a magic school. But he does
and he's
teach
doing
potions.
that magical fart thing, isn't he?
And he's doing dark farts, but they don't know. But we know about... Well, I mean, I guess they must assume it's the dark farts. They're doing a class called Defense Against the Dark Farts, and one of their teachers is shooting a spell out of his asshole. Like, you think they'd know.
So you shouldn't have a wand. You could be right, said Rob. Oh, I am, said Sam, who believed he was always right.
Okay.
Just some character development there.
I think that does go into Sam's character because there was an earlier chapter as well where Sam went to run into platform 9 3/4. He ran headfirst into a train and was covered in blood and pus. And then someone was like, you should see a doctor. And Sam was like, no, never. And then it was like, Sam is very stubborn. This kind of, fits into this.
He always believes he's right. And then we can assume that his twin also has all the same characteristics.
Possibly, yes.
Quidditch was starting straight after breakfast. Harry Potter stood up.
So I think it implies we're now in the Great Hall. Like a new scene.
Yeah, not new paragraph, but new scene. Harry Potter stood up. Just a reminder that Derek is a disgrace to all wizards. A callback to an earlier
which has happened every chapter.
The boys made their way, so no other dialogue from Harry Potter.
They're in the Great Hall.
Actually, so now they're out on the Quidditch field, so there was no other reason to have that scene in
other
the
than to
hall.
just, where can I fit in this recurring joke?
The boys made their way to the Quidditch pitch to meet Tim. He told them that the match was starting in pi minutes.
Which you don't usually see. Hey, it's starting in pi minutes, so 3.14159 minutes. So,
And that's nothing magical about pi.
and you just round it down to 3, like the 1.4 or whatever.
They all got changed into their robes. They were all nervous.
Okay.
Timothy spoke again. Oh, yeah, you need to enroll for the Quidditch competition, stupid idiots.
Okay.
The boys enrolled, and I forgot I was going to write... Okay, we're back in the voice of
the narrator.
writer.
Yeah.
The boys enrolled, and I forgot what I was going to write. So next chapter.
Now, a technique never used by JK. All right, and then Harry went up to Quidditch, and then next chapter.
I forgot. What can I do? I forgot what I was going to write.
The editor's like, you don't want to try and remember this? No, that's what I forgot. Next chapter.
I can't just stop the book there. So next chapter. I can't put it any more clearly.
So now that is the end of the chapter.
Have to stop there.
And it looks like we go into Quidditch the next chapter. Okay, big scenes happening in that chapter, which was really good.
Will the dreams
come
true? Will they show themselves to be a premonition, or is it just a silly dream by a teenage boy?
Who knows?
All will be found out on the next episode of Harry Potter and the Boys.
We have a couple listener interactions that I just wanted to read out.
Sure.
The first one is a YouTube comment. All these podcasts go up on YouTube. It's from Your New Mother. That's his username. He says, well, actually, I'm looking at it now. We probably don't need to read this on air, but we might as well. It says, hey, Mike, might be a good idea to rearrange the YouTube playlist so it's in chronological order. So I have done that.
Well, that's helpful to know.
So if you want to binge it on YouTube, you can just read.
So you click on the top one and then you watch down.
It'll start at chapter 1. Yeah.
Oh, great.
EJ Ghostmez. I don't know anything about Harry Potter other than RJ Rowling ruined it, and I still listen to this entire podcast. So thank you to EJ Ghostmez.
Okay. Probably a purposeful getting the name wrong of J.K. Rowling. Everybody, you don't have to have read Harry Potter to know the author's name.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I think that was a purpose. That was funny. Good one, EJ.
No, it wasn't that funny.
Then B, this person's name is just B. This is actually a good one. This is probably where we should have started. Just wanted to chime in with an official Harry Potter and the Boys fact.
Mm-hmm.
Mike is more creative with his spells than the official Chinese, Taiwanese, and Vietnamese translators. So I assume B must have read the books in those languages. They just translate spells as commands. For example, Accio Dictionary, Vietnamese is, I'm not going to pronounce it right, so he's written it in Vietnamese, and then it's dictionary come here in Vietnamese. But
that's lazy.
But my spell was, I think this referred to a spell where you could cancel out any other spell, and it was just called Ridus Spellus. So it's like, get rid of this spell.
Yeah, that's what they like, though.
Evie has written in to radiomikepod@gmail.com. Feel free to get in touch. She's just sent me a great meme, which is relevant to the times. It's a COVID meme that's like, the risk of transmission, how close you are with, so it's like, if you're close by, no mask, 90% risk, bit further away with a mask, 5% risk. And then the last one is, I'm a Hufflepuff, 0% risk of transmission.
Because the other person is walking away.
Yeah,
because they hate Hufflepuffs.
Yeah, because Hufflepuff sucks. No offense to all the Huffs out there. We love you. Finally, from Amy, the official correspondent of the show, she said, just listen to the episode. The chapters are getting wilder and wilder. WTF is dancing up and down, which is what Ron did in the last chapter. Good to see Gemini Jones still exists because I was beginning to doubt my evil twin theory.
I remember that. I think that was the episode
you
that
were on. Yeah, I do too.
Gemini is the twin.
Well, Gemini is the twin star sign, and he's supposed to be identical to Lockie, which is interesting. And then me and Ruben asked about, she spells her name Amy, A-I-M-E-E, and one of the E's has one of those little apostrophes on it. She said the E is called an accent because the name is spelt the French way. So huge thanks there to Amy, the official correspondent of the podcast, who was emailed in every episode on a streak. So thanks for that, Jack. Did you want to do your, your little song and dance routine that you've prepared?
Yeah, I'll do it.
All right.
Only because you begged me, though.
All right, so Jack has come in with his guitar, and he is going to finish the first ever musical number. Should I hold the mic to the guitar? And then,
sure.
All right, so I'm going to hold my mic to Jack's guitar. And
maybe turn the fader down a bit when you do that.
Yeah, so fader 2, I'll put down a bit, and I'll put... All right, you ready?
Ready to go, yeah.
All right, here we go.
So this is a song I wrote when I was on community radio, Sin FM, about Harry Potter.
I started on Sin FM too, which is cool.
So did our friends Hamish and Andy. Many good people who work in the industry started at Sin FM.
Name 3 more.
Leon Shergren,
Yes.
he's a great producer at Fox FM, also a friend of ours. Ryan Shelton, he's been on this very podcast.
Tom and Ollie.
That's 4.
Oh, sorry, that's just Tom.
Just Tom.
Ollie did, but he's not in this list.
It's about Harry Potter. And it's about how at Hogwarts they only learn magic.
So they don't learn like maths.
Yeah. Okay, don't give away too much. Don't give away too much.
How long is this, by the way?
Oh, maybe 2 minutes.
Okay, cool.
Harry Potter, good at spells, but how good is he at spelling? His school runs things like Defense Against the Dark Arts, but I'm not sure they even have an English class. There's no science or history, no mathematics. All their curriculum is different magics. They don't get an education like you and me. Their general knowledge is quite poor. So, Dumbledore, I'm pretty sure these kids need more than just some spells to get 'em by. School of Hogwarts with moving artworks on the wall. But for the students, there's no art classes at all. No legal studies to teach what laws they might break. There's no foreign languages except speaking like a snake.
Well, they don't teach that.
There's no physics or PE, no mathematics. Their only curriculum is indifferent magics. They don't get an education like you and me. Their general knowledge is quite poor. So, Dumbledore, I'm pretty sure these kids need more than just the spells to get 'em by. And so what, you know a spell to turn your wand into a light. I'll still kick your ass at any trivia night. Have you ever heard of algebra? Could you divide and multiply? Or is unlocking locked doors enough to get you by? You got a stupid scar in the middle of your face. You're not even as smart as a kid in 6th grade. Well, I bloody hope there's a spell to help you fill out a Centrelink form. 'Cause Hogwarts won't prepare you for the workforce.
Oh, that was so good. And you still remember it after all these years. That was awesome, man. That was so good. If anyone else has a Harry Potter song, feel free to send it in. Maybe you could win the Family
Oh,
Guy
maybe I
DVDs.
want the DVD, baby!
Jack, where can people find you and what you do? Thanks for coming on again.
Can you edit that out?
Jack just said his home address, which I will bleep out. But wow, that was bold. People know where you live, though.
I know.
Like Hamish and Andy in that video of the house raid that you did.
Yeah.
You can see the whole front of your
My house is on a train line as well, and it's a distinct colour. So when you
Yeah.
see the videos where it's in Hamish and Andy, you can really tell it's my house. But thanks to you, so far nobody has come and knocked on my door.
Oh, I just realised my microphone.
Oh, sorry.
I left my microphone volume down that whole time, so I'm going to be really quiet. I'm going to have to artificially boost it. But yeah.
That's all right.
Yeah.
At Jack Post on Instagram, and that's all.
Nice, man.
That's all. Yeah.
I'll just finish up. Radio.mike on Insta. DM me anything. RadioMikePod@gmail.com.
I go while you.
Yeah, you can head off. Jack's gonna head off. Sorry. And the one more thing is, actually, I'll do that. I'll say that next week. That's all right. Get in touch with the show. You can.
Got my guitar.
Sorry, yeah, Jack's just heading off. You can also support the show by going to radiomike.com.au/merch if you want to buy some stickers based around my other podcast, 20th Century Boy. That's just a great way to support Jack. No, Jack, I'm still going. I'm still going, Jack. I'm still going. But that is all. Thank you so much for listening to the pod. Leave a review on iTunes, thumbs up the video, subscribe on YouTube, tell your friends. My name's been Radio Mike, and Harry Potter and the Boys has been...
The inside of my mind.
Nope, the inside of my mind, not Jack's. Jack had no part in writing this. Catch you later, mudbloods.